My name is Daniel Muggeridge. I'm the Managing Director of Blue Bike Solutions. Come with me as we begin a new adventure with some of our clients and friends, discussing what the COVID-19 pandemic has meant across the Australian community sector. Peter Opie, CIO at Expression Australia, welcome.
Thank you, Daniel. Good to be here.
Tell us quickly about Expression Australia.
Formerly known as the Victorian Deaf Society and the Tasmanian Deaf Society. So we are an organisation of around about 120 permanent staff and around 300 casual staff, providing services to the deaf and hard of hearing in Victoria and Tasmania. We've been on a digital transformation journey over the past 2 years. We don't use that term, but that's effectively what it is as we assess the systems that we're currently using, implement new systems, and move on a path towards integration and better access to data, analytics and decision making based on that data that we haven't historically been able to see before.
Well, that's what you expected to be doing, and then along came COVID-19.
Yes, disruptor in the extreme sense.
Indeed. You've been obviously setting up for work from home. Tell me about the setup and how that's gone for...
Yeah, look, we were pretty fortunate compared to a lot of contemporaries that I've been speaking with. We already had about 90-95% of our staff using laptops. So we didn't have that mad rush in most cases to trying to procure or secure laptops from everywhere, or having to break too many security rules around moving to BYOD in a hurry. We had also just recently piloted and rolled out a new VPN solution, 40net VPN solution to our existing VPN users.
I have a suspicion, Peter, that you might have had some challenge between Teams and Zoom.
We are a very visual organisation. About 30% of our staff are deaf or hard of hearing. Suddenly we were needing to have things like team meetings with a dozen people, 15 people, or the CEO needing to present to the entire organisation on a regular basis. It was a challenge to our existing tool sets. At the 100N scale, the Zoom webinar approach was the best quality and best experience for our users. At the smaller end of the scale, where you've only got half a dozen people on a call, Teams is probably the better solution for that because it allows you to pin multiple participants. Skype for Business is fine, obviously, for one-to-one. Video quality isn't great. We pretty quickly dumped that as a group meeting tool. And Teams, we'd already found from early pilots, was an infinitely better video quality experience. And we use Zoom for our video relay interpreting, where we provide Auslan interpreters remotely.
Peter, I'm interested in your sense of productivity in the new world, everybody working from home.
The logistics of setting up an online interpreting booking versus a face-to-face interpreting booking is significantly different. With video relay interpreting, particularly if the client hasn't used it or used it much, then there's a lot of conversation that has to go on about what platform to use, what technology they require, what setup. So the booking office is spending a heck of a lot more time on each booking. The cost to serve has gone up significantly in that space because you are investing a lot more time in helping people just to get a booking working. So that's one example where productivity has been significantly hit in a different way, not specifically because they're working from home, but just because the service model has had to change as a result of people being isolated and social distancing, etc. I think the areas that probably struggle the most are any areas where there's a lot of communication and sort of handoff of processes between people.
Peter, do you see any opportunities or good things that have come out of the shift around the pandemic that is an unexpected benefit?
There's a couple of areas. One of them plays back into what you were just asking as well, which is as we move back into normal operations, we have an opportunity to change the way we work. And I think it's also shone a light on the importance of some of the big system projects we're about to implement, because so many things do require physical handoffs of signed documents, moving paper around from person to person, and we've had to come up with workaround solutions to keep that process moving virtually. So people can instantly see that there's going to be huge advantages when we implement our CRM and client management solution and start to automate a lot of our processes straight through processing. They can see the benefit already because they know that if they'd had that when they were working from home, a lot of the things they were doing would have been much easier.
Thanks, Peter. You've given us some good stuff to chew through already.